I think for me this exercise is just an opportunity to bring people into the forest and make them stop and be there. Be in the forest, be present, hear things that they wouldn't hear if they're just rushing through, see things that they wouldn't see when they're looking for materials to add to their faces. They're paying attention to little details that normally are just totally looked over as they walk by. So what we do is we find a forest with trees big enough or with enough texture that we can attach clay to it. And the idea is on each of the trunks that we choose, we can put a face, or some people choose to put bugs or eyelids. So it's really up to the person who's working with the clay what their vision is and what they want their tree trunk to express.
So what I really enjoy, we've done it a few times now, is when we've handed out the bags of clay, people are walking with them and they're not quite sure what to do with them, and they have this clay in their hands and they look at each other and they kind of go off by themselves a bit and then come back and keep thinking, what should I do with this? And it's usually quiet for about the first 5 or 10 minutes, and then slowly you start to hear giggles throughout the woods. So you hear people laughing at their own or at someone else's and saying, where did you get that? Oh, that was a cool idea. And so seeing these families do this together was really fun. We had one family with 3 generations, and the grandpa wasn't going to do art, but he came out and did some really cool faces with his kids and his grandchild. So seeing that connection of nature with each other, but also while they're out making these creations, is just really fun. When you start to see things in more detail, you're in a better place to care for it. And so when we're looking at these different plants and realizing each plant is different, it may also have a different purpose. It may be something that's really helpful for the birds, or it might be helpful for us, or it might be helpful for different types of animals. We start wanting to care for it more. So when we connect with nature, I think when we heard the people leaving, like, this is their backyard. What an amazing backyard. And we want people to care for their backyard. So I think being out here and seeing how cool it is, how interesting it is, all the neat little treasures that you can find is one way to do it.
So I think one of the things we really love too about this project is not only is it fun when you're doing it, you're in the forest, you spend that beautiful time, but then after you leave and the project is what they call over, the faces stay in the forest. So people that live in the community will come around, they'll walk by and they'll smile and they'll giggle and they'll take photos and they'll share it with their friends. And so it becomes like a shared joy that will carry on for a few weeks. So I think it's one of these projects that gives you a legacy of joy. And that's really pleasant to do.